the Toronto Raptors finished in the Orlando bubble with the second best win-loss record, with a 7-1 record in the 8 games in Orlando. The Phoenix Suns are the only team who bested them, finishing somehow 8-0, with Phoenix eliminated though. Does that make the Toronto Raptors the best team left in the NBA bubble? Let's get into it. Welcome to Amateur Hour Sports, everybody. Jacob Mitchell here, talking about the Toronto Raptors in the NBA bubble yet again. They finished 7-1, only behind the Phoenix Suns, who finished 8-0, like I said. Does that make us the best team left in the bubble? Are we in the best form out of everybody in the bubble? I think it does kind of make us the best informed team in the bubble. 7 wins and 1 loss. I mean, before the bubbles game started, I said I would be happy if the Raptors finished 5-3, given the fact that they had the toughest schedule out of every team. They had the hardest and most difficult schedule in the NBA bubble, but overcame it to finish 7-1. And I know some of those games, the Raptors had their bench players on, the other teams had their bench players on, but still, winning is winning. And they finished 7-1, and they're going to carry all that momentum into the playoffs. Sure, they had one bad game against the Boston Celtics, but bad games happen. I think that they are on an absolute roll going into the playoffs. You know, there was that huge win against the Sixers with the bench guys on at the end, sparking that big comeback. They managed to win the last game as well. I am very confident about the Raptors going into the postseason as we take on the Brooklyn Nets. This is the exact matchup that I wanted. I did a full video on the matchup between the Toronto Raptors and Brooklyn Nets, anticipating the hypothetical series. I thought Orlando would manage to flip-flop with the Brooklyn Nets and finish in that 7th spot, but I am happy that Brooklyn managed to keep that spot. Basically, the Brooklyn Nets have survived in the bubble shooting a lot of threes, and when they get hot, they are starting to hit a ton of those threes. But the Raptors are one of the best teams in the league at defending the three ball, and they are second best in defensive rating and best in opposition points per game. So Brooklyn, a team who thrive off just simply outscoring their opponent, and I know that sounds kind of dumb, kind of simple, but they'll let the opponent score however much, but they just got to get more. They thrive off scoring a ton of points, and coming up against a Raptors team who is one of, if not the best at defense, they aren't going to get all those points they were getting before, but are they going to be able to stop the Toronto Raptors offense? Not at all. This series goes max 5 games. The Raptors are rolling in the bubble. So much confidence coming from their starters, and you know what? All those bench guys getting a ton of minutes, that just gave all of those pieces so much extra confidence as well. Guys like Chris Boucher, guys like Matt Thomas, a humongous string of confidence for those guys. Not that I think Chris Boucher is going to be getting many minutes in the playoff games. Matt Thomas is a guy you can see getting some important minutes, who has to hit those big shots. I said in my last video that Matt Thomas is the guy that needs to be the X factor off the bench to really swing momentum of a game, because how lethal his shooting is. It's unbelievable how good this guy is at shooting. Matt Thomas has been lights out in the bubble. I'm glad he's got all this confidence going into the playoffs. Bigger thing about the Brooklyn Nets is that they don't have a bench. They barely have a starting lineup after how many people opted out of playing in the bubble. They don't have a bench. The Raptors are known for being very deep. So the Raptors bench is going to have a great time in this series. The Brooklyn starters don't match up with the Raptors starters, max 5 games. But the Raptors finishing 7-1 with the hardest schedule. We'll ignore that one loss. You know, we know the Raptors had a bad game against the Celtics, but all that, even with a game where Nick Nurse did not even coach, they managed to win the game. They are the best team right now in the bubble. The Milwaukee Bucks have not been the same team since entering the bubble. I know that they clinched pretty early, but they have not been the same team defensively. They are in a little bit of peril at the moment. Their defense is in shambles, quite frankly. Guys like Giannis haven't been playing as well. The entire team just really hasn't found their rhythm. And going into the playoffs, you know, they're playing Orlando. They're going to run through Orlando. And if they don't find their feet over the course of that series, it could be tough for them to get to the NBA Finals. Like, you know, I think they'll go through the Pacers if they get there. The Pacers who managed to sneak out into the 4 seed. Not that it matters too much in the bubble, but Pacers get the 4 seed. I think that the Bucks would be able to steamroll them. But it comes to Miami. Miami's a team that has a chance to beat the Bucks. And if the Bucks don't find their footing after the first round, it could be problems for them in that second round against Miami. If Indiana win, I think that the Bucks will be fine. But if Miami win, which I think they will, then the Bucks have a bit of problems. And if they get to the next round and the Raptors manage to get to the conference finals, the way Milwaukee have been playing makes it seem like the Raptors have a great shot in that series. I mean, I did a video on the matchup between the Bucks and the Raptors where I slightly favor the Bucks, but if the Bucks don't regain the form of the team that was there in the regular season before the bubble, the Raptors have an even better chance. And I think the Raptors are favored in that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll see if the Bucks find their footing. But the way the Raptors have been playing makes it seem like they are the best team right now. Boston have been playing pretty well also, but I think the Raptors are favored in that matchup based on the video I did on that matchup. The Lakers have not been the same team with all their players having opted out. They don't defend very well the guard position. So Portland, who have great guards, might be able to sneak a game or two on them because of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum not being able to be guarded by the Lakers' guard positions. But I think the Lakers drive that one out. But when they get into the nitty-gritty parts, when you need big defensive stops, I'm not sure how that's going to work. And everybody who stole Nick Nurse's play on how to defend Anthony Davis, basically, Nick Nurse in the first game in the bubble designed this defensive scheme to stop Anthony Davis. As soon as he got the ball and gathered, they doubled him. Not until he gathered the ball did the Toronto Raptors double him, especially in the paint. So they suffocated his possessions, and he really struggled in that game. Ever since then, every team has copied the way Nick Nurse defended Anthony Davis. The Lakers haven't really had a ton of time to be able to figure out how they're going to go about that. And obviously, Anthony Davis has had some great games, but Davis is a guy who has not had a lot of playoff experience. I wonder if he can be the same player in the playoffs that he was in the regular season. I think Anthony Davis is a phenomenal player, but unproven in the playoffs. I think he'll find his footing, but there's a lot of factors swirling around the reasons why the Lakers are going to struggle a little bit in the playoffs. I don't think they get to the finals. I think the Clippers get there. The Clippers have had their own fair share of struggles, though, but the Clippers have always operated as if, the regular season doesn't matter. It's all about the playoffs. And I think they're going to turn into a different beast when it comes to playoffs and get to the finals. If they get to the finals, I think they win no matter what. If the Lakers get to the finals, I think the Toronto Raptors take down the Los Angeles Lakers if the Raptors manage to get there. I really do. I think the Raptors get to the finals against the Lakers and they win it. I think the Bucks beat the Lakers as well. The way the Lakers have been looking, I think the Bucks managed to find their footing and get there. I feel like at this point, the Bucks would be able to beat them. The Clippers are the team in the West that would beat the Raptors or the Bucks. If the Celtics get to the finals, I don't see it happening, but if they do, I think that they lose to whoever comes out of the West. So all in all, after losing two starters and one of the best players in the league, Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, the Raptors have posed their best win-loss record in their entire history. 53 wins and 19 losses. That is good for a 7.36 win percentage. Like I said, the best in their history. They have managed to overcome losing such important pieces like Kawhi Leonard into turning it into the best regular season they have ever had. The Raptors maybe have even improved from last year. We'll see if they are a better playoff team than they were last year. And if they can match winning that NBA championship. Do they have the ability to go back-to-back? Yes, they do. And I think they have a great chance to do it, being the best team in the bubble right now. Just ride that hot hand, ride the hot form into the playoffs, come out of Brooklyn in 5 or less games, and just roll with your momentum all the way to that championship. That is it for this video. Do you guys think the Raptors are the best team in the bubble right now? I think they are. The way they've been playing defense, holding teams to under 100 points, and when they find that offense, oh my God, they're going to torch some teams, I think. I think they run through Brooklyn. What do you think about the Raptors? Let me know in the comments down below. But that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Hour Sports for more content just like this. Raptors get started against the Brooklyn Nets today at 4 o'clock. I'm so excited for Game 1. Hopefully there's no Game 1 jitters that the Raptors have suffered over the course of their history. I think they get it done, and I think they get it done comfortably. I think the Brooklyn Nets score 104 points. I think the Raptors score 113 for a clean 9-point win. Make sure you hit that notification bell as we roll into the deep parts of the playoffs. Stay up to date with the 4 videos posted a week on this channel: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. At the end of the day, I believe what I say, and if you disagree, that's okay. We'll see you again next time.